Hi, everyone. Okay, so I'm doing this young man. Stephen Bartlett is his name. Most of you probably know him. Well, you should by the rate of the way his chart is rising. So we did it in a reviewing class, and it was actually exceptional because each year actually tells what it is, and apparently he has gone through all of that according to my students. And so I just thought I would go through it to show you when it's your time. When it's your time to get on the stage, we call it this, I call it the stage because you're going to shine and you're going to shine even more. So when it is your time to shine, even if he was baking cupcakes, he would be shining with those cupcakes. Okay. That's how it works. All right, you all know that in a way. Okay, so he is 33, I think. Yes, good. All right, so he has been in the spot he's in right now. He has been in this spot before because remember what I said in the workshops. So 2014 and 2016 together, those 2 years are 2026. And for him, though, it was sort of, it went through the roof in 2025 because 2025 is wood and fire. So the wood was other people. He had some competitors, other people like himself, and but he had to let go of something because that's what the snake does. It has to shed to be able to walk into the next adventure or into the next thing. And that's kind of, he had to do something similar to that last year. So he may have let go of something and kept going with what he's doing right now. Because whatever it is that he's doing right now, he would have had to have started that 2014 or 2016 because now it's gone to another level. Okay. And it's kind of like, if he started a relationship in 2014, 2016, either of those years, then it's going to another level now, or it can just be cut, like it's done and dusted. All right. So the same thing that he was going through in 2014, but just with more maturity because of the cycle that he's actually in. So this guy, when I look at his chart, he's wood and he sits on the earth. So the wood by nature is the old oak tree, and everybody gathers around it, and you know chatting and having brunches and lunch and all. It's all about gathering. So you're getting people and gathering, whether it's colleagues, family, friends, etc. And that's what that wood is. The wood here is also very kind. So he's got to be careful not so that people don't mistake his kindness for weakness, because that can happen to a lot of wood people, and they're very, very kind elementally, and then people just, yeah, whatever. He sits on the earth. The earth is a dog. So the day he's born is a wood dog. That's who he is. When the doctor smacked him on the ass, that's what he took in that breath. So that means when this guy was born, he was going to make it no matter what, because the earth that he sits on, elementally for his element, is ting, 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 ting. Shall I keep counting? So it is a storage. It's not just money. It's called a storage, and only money can be stored. So in his life, as I look at his chart, he had metal from 0 to 15, but it had water there. So the water helps this tree to grow, but then the metal comes and prunes this tree, and it's called discipline when you are young. And he didn't like that. So whatever he was thinking, the pressure was on. That pressure made him fruit and flower better, but he wouldn't have realized that then. And then 15 onwards, there was still pressure, but money came with this pressure. It was a different story. Okay. Now this is who he is, not the year, not the month. It's who he is. He was born with that day. Anyway, so he is an investor. He's a podcaster. He's an entrepreneur, and I'm just going to go through a couple of years and nothing more, but just so you grasp that it's exactly the way I speak in the workshops, and so you grasp it and understand it that little bit better. So for him, as I said, 2014, 2016, it became something happened, and then in 2023 there was a lot of harmony for him because the rabbit with the dog that he sits on is very harmonious. That means somebody, because the rabbit is a romance flower, so somebody came in, and the person that actually came in doesn't mean they're the person they're with today, but somebody did come in. There was a lot of harmony because the two are soulmates in that sense. Um, so 2021 was again another storage of money, and there was power with that. And it's the yin metal, which is he's shining and sits on the money. So, how he did that, I'm not sure, but um, the girls did talk a lot about him. But I look at the chart, so it doesn't matter what, when, how. Then 2024 came along, and the dragon of 2024, it was a wood dragon. So the wood meant the same as him, competitors. And what do they want? They're competing for the earth underneath, which is a dragon, which is money, his money as well, and their money as well, that type of thing. But having said that, he has a dog, which is the gate to the underworld. The dragon's the gate to heaven. And he was trapped here regarding money. So this is when I would say, whoever asks you to join their group, you need to say no for that year, basically. Okay. That's how that worked out. Then 2025, the wood, still competitors, but they're not yang now, they're yin. So he's the yang, and he sits on the year sits on a snake, and that the snake is fire, and he doesn't have fire in his chart, as in in his day, month, year, but I would say it is in his hour fire because he is on a stage anyway, and he wasn't just waiting, but the years pushed him further, they elevated him. And so 2025 came in, and it started more of a spiritual type of thing for him. And that is because the snake is in harmony with the two monkeys in his chart. And so when they come together, think of the snake this way. It's on Merlin's what is the cane that he has? It has a name. Anyway, it's on that. It's on medicine. It's on ancient wisdom, ancient healing. So he's come into that like in 2025. Now we're in 2026. So 2026 for him actually would have started in not December, in November. So in November last year, something changed. There was a big change, and his thinking changed, and how he does it changed. So I don't know if he changed how he does his podcasting, the Diary of a CEO, etc. But it was in people's faces from, just happening from that. So for him, actually, it happened before. It happened June 2025. So June 2025 was a horse. That's the spiritual aspect. That's him on a stage shining. That's him downloading. That's him. So I don't know, maybe he changed the people he's around then, and it became more elevated in that sense. So this year, 2026, is just fire and fire. So it's not one stage. He has two stages, and he is showing you what he's got. The beauty of this is the horse of this year with that dog that he sits on brings about healing and spirit on another level. So he would have started feeling things. Maybe he doesn't talk about it, but he would have. And 24 to 34, elementally, he's in a cycle of metal, which is his power, which is the authority, etc. But it's not the yang metal that prunes. This is like a diamond, shining like a diamond. So from 24 to 34, he is shining, but more so this year because the pig in that 10-year cycle he is in at the moment, it's shining and it's the pig. The shining is metal, the pig is water. The metal feeds the water, and that water is soulmates to the horse as well this year. So do you see how this is going like more than a tsunami, that type of thing. So this month for him, we were talking about this month for him is a little bit challenging because he would have felt that 2024, but he will feel that in every April. He kind of already is going there every April. He's trapped. He feels trapped, and the trap is money wise in that sense. So assets and all of that. So for him, he is going Ben Hur, basically, that type of thing. And the cycle that he comes into at 34 is water on water, which means it's a tsunami on a tsunami. And that's two tsunamis where he clears the slate or cleans the slate, like a tsunami comes in, cleans the slate. And he starts on another thing. So the other thing is his ideas, his resources. There's like one path here and one path here, and he may take both paths. And there is no challenges in his chart in that 10-year cycle. It's just what I would worry about is in 2027, which is when he turns 34. So he'll be 30. He'll be 34 by then. It will change then at 34, his 10-year cycle, and it means that, how am I going to put it? It's a romance flower, which is the same as 2026 is a romance flower, but his romance flower was triggered in June last year, then November, 7th of November to 7th of December, then December to Jan. And June was 7th of June to the 7th of July. So I've gone through this in workshops with you, but just to show you that okay, his chart is full on. Now, if his chart was not full on and he was gung ho like he is with all of this on this stage, then it is where he sleeps, the house he sleeps in, and that's the feng shui wise that we talk about as well. So this is a brilliant chart. So I think let me see what I wrote from class. Yes, he does have a girlfriend. The girlfriend is Yang Earth. The Yang Earth, so she's not with him because she's Yang Earth on a rat. So the Yang Earth is that mountain. And remember, even Muhammad went to the mountain. So she has that care factor, that is the nurse, the doctor, the social worker, the shrink, all of that. She is that in one. And she sits on the rat, which is a water element. So that rat is her money, which is both of them sit on their money. So it's not like, she has her money, he has his money. So that will never be the issue. The only issue is, though, that for her, 2026, for her is very, very challenging, like 2014. So she can go back and look at that, if I was talking to her about her chart. And it is also in her chart, it's her parents. So I would say it's maybe mum, and she would have to either be there or her mum comes to her. So there'll be something that has to be done to help her mum. And on her day, because she sits on a rat, that horse disturbs the rat. The thing here is the water that she sits on the rat, because she is strong earth. So that strong earth, metal, water, and wood are favorable. So he is the wood element. He's favorable for her. Okay. And so for him, he's what we call, because he's born, the season he's born in is called an autumn wood. Okay, and so all of that together makes this year a little challenging, but it's not challenging in a negative way for him. He's elevating, and if he doesn't want to elevate and fights it, the universe will pick him up here and dump him here because he's not going with the flow. Some of us are here for certain things. All right. Also, actually, I did notice in his girlfriend's chart is she has two roosters, and the two roosters, the 10-year cycle is a rooster, and the year she's born is a rooster, um, which makes it a penalty. Although it is harmonious, there will be something with what she actions and what she does. And so yes, it may cause a bit of a kerfuffle, a little bit of disturbance, a challenge. She just doesn't see the slap on the face coming. So she's been in that since 30. So, yeah. If she wants to alleviate that, then she just carries a dragon calligraphy, just like that. But she also needs a goat this year as well. Somebody tell her. All right. But yeah, they're brilliant because, again, as I said, he's the wood, she's the earth. They stabilize each other. If there wasn't earth, where would this tree put its roots? And if there wasn't wood, what keeps this earth together? So it's just brilliant in that sense. All right. Fingers crossed. He's kind of the opposite to me. I keep it all under wraps because I don't want to, you know, one day get cancelled because you know how much I worry about my own children. Um, but he's just out there, and it's the opposite to me. It's brilliant. And like I said, if he even made cupcakes, they go flying off the shelf. All right. I hope that